Welcome to this channel. This is Dr. Nkiru Katase Wanchukwu, a legal practitioner, and in this series I'm going to be talking about your rights as a citizen upon arrest. I know some people are going to be wondering, what has that got to do with me? It's easier now to be arrested in Nigeria for the slightest mistake, most often not your fault. Now, it's important to also explain that this enlightenment is going to help your lawyer to build up your case in the event of unlawful arrest. And for that, you can be arrested for 3 offenses. There is the simple offense, which is not so serious, which punishment entails more of a caution or probation. And then there's the misdemeanor, which punishment entails not less than 3 years, not less than 3 months, and not more than 3 years. And then there's a felony, which is much more serious, and which punishment entails death, imprisonment, and more than 3 years. Now, you have been arrested. At this point, it's important to stress that whatever I'm going to tell you is a compilation of 3 laws: the Police Act, the Criminal Procedure Act, and then the Constitution. You have been arrested. The law stipulates that upon arrest, you ought not to be handcuffed. But there are circumstances upon which you can be handcuffed. Those circumstances are: 1, if there's an attempt to escape and there's a demonstration of violence on your part. At that point, the police can actually restrain you. Now, the police is expected to tell you to show you the warrant of arrest. Now, but there are circumstances where those warrants are not shown, especially if the offense in question was committed in the presence of the police, or where there is a report of offense against you by another person. Now, but the law stipulates that in section 35 sub 3, that upon arrest, you are expected to be told within a period of 24 hours the grounds upon which you were arrested, so that your lawyer can actually build their defense on that. So you have been arrested and you have been taken to the police station. At this point, is very important, because the next right is a right that many people are very guilty of breaking, and that is the right to remain silent. Section 35 sub 2 stipulates that you have a right to remain silent until consultation with your lawyer. But the police are always, most often than not, you see that most times the accused persons are cajoled into writing statements or signing statements that will complicate their matter. In this case, you have a right not to self-incriminate yourself. Do not sign any statement, any confessional statement, if you do not understand what that confessional statement is saying. I will explain what this means. I was in court some time back, and during the course of the matter, the magistrate court discharged, there were 5 accused persons, and magistrate court discharged 4 of them, because she found out that the first information report had gaps in there. But for the remaining person who was not discharged was held back because of the confessional statement that he signed or he wrote. And that was the reason why he was held back, even though he gave excuse that he was induced into signing it. Because most times you see some police officers who torture the accused persons or cajole them by telling them that, oh, just sign it, it's not a big deal. It's actually a big deal. That's where your case starts from. At this point, you need to be very, very cautious. Now, another right that the police have actually been guilty of is with respect to your right to be taken to a court within 24 hours or 48 hours. Now, the law stipulates, section 35 sub 5 stipulates that upon arrest, you are to be taken to a competent court of jurisdiction within a space of 24 hours or 48 hours, depending on the availability of that court and whether it's within a 40 kilometers from the police. But you see, most often than not, you see that the police will now keep the person there, and the person will be there for quite some time. And that is wrong. These are part of the things that you ought to know so that you can build up your case on it. Now, another thing is that you have been taken to court, and for a reason, probably because it's a felony, is a felony offense, and you're denied the bail that you ought to be giving. Now, the court stipulates in section 35 sub 4 that upon arrest, if the bail has been denied the accused person's case ought to be initiated within a period of 2 months. And for the ones that are on bail within a period of 3 months. Now, there's another thing that I've noticed and I've come to understand, and that is the situation whereby police will arrest, when they want to arrest an accused person and they don't see him, they arrest a relative. This is quite wrong. Article 7 of the African Charter, which has been domesticated into our law, stipulates that the offenses are personal. Police has no business arresting your relatives. And these are things we need to understand. Should they come to do such a thing, stand on the law and tell them that you are violating the law. This is not what the law stipulates. And I tell you, when you're able to stand and look them in the face and say, what you're doing is not right, they would definitely back off. They will. Because they know this can be an opportunity for you to build up a case. The right to freedom, personal liberty, is one of the most important rights that the law, after the right to life, is the right to liberty is very important. Should you be tortured in police custody, it is also important. Right to dignity in section 34 of the Constitution. These are grounds upon which you can build your case for fundamental rights infringements. So please, should you find yourself in such situation and you have something to communicate, I would like you to like, comment, and subscribe, and communicate to me what you're going through so that I can see how I can proffer some free advice to you. Thank you very much.